Peace and shalom, family. This is Tovi Mikhael, and I just want to let you guys know that this will be a two-part series, all right? And we're going to dive deep into the feminine lamb. Yes, and today, what I would like to also say for the record is that in my community, it would appear that most of the men do not understand the Torah or the Tanakh. They pretend to. Then they have the audacity to somehow think that the ideologies that they learn from their own oppression somehow educated them and gave them the ability to advise us of what is actually taking place within the Tanakh. However, I wanted to be very clear right now and let you know I am in complete opposition of everything that they say. As a Hebrew Israelite, I believe that their concepts are they are wicked, to say the least. And the ideology of women being dogs is not in the Bible. It ain't there. So today I'm going to show you your ignorance, and then I'm going to clear that ignorance up with actual data and information that can alleviate such stupidity, to say the least. In this regard, I am not trying to hurt or discredit anyone's belief systems. However, what I am doing is still validating what is linguistically and lexically correct within the text. So now I present to you, did Christians miss something? Leviticus 4:32, the female lamb. Let's begin. All right, so let us begin. We have the new lesson for the day. Did Christians miss this? The female lamb in Leviticus 4:32 by Tovi Mikhael. And this is Appendix S out of my book. All right, got the QR code up there. And let us begin. Most Christians believe that the Lamb of God is male. That's assumed. It's preached. It's rarely questioned. But in Leviticus 4:32, the sin offering lamb must be female. Not metaphorically, not symbolically, legally. The Torah says it explicitly, and it isn't a poetic message. It's priestly law. So when the New Testament says, "Behold, the Lamb of God," which lamb? Because the Torah distinguishes sacrificial categories carefully. And if we collapse those distinctions, we may be reading later theology into earlier systems. Let's begin. The verse, Leviticus 4:32, reads, "If the offering they bring as a purgation offering is a sheep, it shall be a female without blemish." And the term there for female is nekeva. All right? Nekeva. All right? And it tells you the term that I have highlighted in the beginning on the far right is keves. All right? Which is where you're getting your lamb or goat from. Okay? The word used for lamb here is keves. The term by itself does not encode gender, though. So keves itself does not actually have gender in it, okay? It's a generic term. But the Torah immediately after gives you the term nekeva, which is female. So Leviticus 4:32 does not rely on assumption. It mandates female. This matters because when we talk about the Lamb of God, we often assume masculinity by default. The Torah does not assume here. It legislates. Now, with quick precision note, Leviticus 4:32 does not use the feminine noun form keves, which is the feminine form of the generic term keves. The feminine noun form keves does appear clearly in Leviticus 5 and 6 in the same sin offering context. So the requirement of female is not incidental. It's structural within the ḥaṭṭā't system. And that brings us to the larger point. Leviticus 4 is not about Passover. It is about ḥaṭṭā't, sin offering. Different ritual, different function, different category. The Torah does not treat sacrificial images as interchangeable. Later theology does. The Torah does not. Let's continue. As we can see, the lamb, sheep term itself is not gender marked, keves. So the implied term is nekeva for female, okay? Let us continue. All right, and as we continue, this is a precision note. Basically, let you guys know that in Leviticus 4:32, the term kisva is not used. It uses the term keves and nekeva. And it also, in Leviticus 5 and 6, it also specifies the sin offering as feminine. Okay, so let's look at this. In Leviticus chapter 5, verse 6, and they shall bring as a penalty to God for the sin of which they are guilty, a female from the flock, sheep or goat, as a purgation offering, and the priest shall make expiation for the sin on their behalf. As we can see, the term ḥaṭṭā't is in here, in navia, right? And then the term kisva, okay? So this is the terminologies that verify that the feminine aspect in legality to our ritual systems of Torah is a requirement, okay? So let's continue. Leviticus 4 is not discussing Passover. It is discussing ḥaṭṭā't, sin offering. Different ritual, different function, different theological frame. The Torah keeps these categories distinct. Let us continue. I wanted to bring us to Exodus chapter 12 to show the generic term se being used throughout this particular chapter until we get to verse 5, where it starts off as highlighted se, but then it gives a particular and lets us know that it's a male. As it says in the last verse, your lamb shall be without blemish, a yearling male. You may take it from the sheep or from the goats. And the term there is zakar, okay? And then it tells you can take it from the sons of the yearly earling, or the term actually being used is the term I showed you guys before, which is, well, actually it's siarim, so it's the plural, right, of the flock, okay? But let us continue. All right, so as we continue, we see we're at ritual tiers, and we're going to widen the lens a little bit here. So Leviticus 4 outlines tiers of atonement. A high priest, bull. The leader, a male goat. And common person, lamb or goat, specified female. The sacrificial system is hierarchical, but it is also structured. The higher the office, the larger the animal. But look carefully at the common individual. When the lamb is brought, the text requires it to be female. We don't need to speculate why. We just need to observe the gender is legislated. Gender in Torah ritual is not random. It encodes meaning. And if the Torah encodes meaning through sacrificial selection, then we should not flatten that structure, especially when later theology builds typologies from these rituals. Let us look at Leviticus 4. All right, so in Leviticus 4, if it is the anointed priest who has incurred guilt, so that blame falls upon the people, he shall offer for the sin of which he is guilty a bull of the herd without blemish as a purgation offering to God. So therefore, this is talking about the high priest, right? The anointed priest. Let's look at Leviticus 24 and 23. And it says, or the sin of which he is guilty is made known, he shall bring as his offering a male goat without blemish. All right, I have the Hebrew highlighted there, the term zakar, and the term seir izim. All right, so seir izim zakar. All right. He shall lay his hand upon the goat's head, and it shall be slaughtered, and that shall be a burnt offering to Yah. Okay, I just once again show the term seir. All right, let us continue. Leviticus 4, 27, 28, and 29. Let's start at verse, 28. Or the sin of which they are guilty is made known, the person shall bring a female goat without blemish as the offering for the sin. Okay, so as we see, the high priest, the the leader, right, brings a male goat. The high priest brings a bull, and then the commoner person can bring a female offering. Okay, so these things are distinct. All right, let us continue. So when it widens even further, another purification ritual is in Numbers 19, the red heifer. Let us take a look into this. We have so far went from Leviticus 4 to Leviticus 19, and we will continue to Leviticus 16 after we go through Numbers 19, all right, to see this trajectory. Let's continue. So a female without blemish, outside the camp, ashes, purification plus outside is in Numbers 9 through 19 through 1 and 10. Okay, the red heifer is female. Once again, without blemish, taken outside the camp. Its ashes purify contamination from death. The Torah does not avoid feminine ritual agency. Purification is not exclusively masculine encoded. There's a feminine element. Once again, proving that. Let's continue to look at the actual verse. And as we can see here, this is the ritual law that God has commanded, instructed the Israelite people to bring you a red cow without blemish, in which there is no defect and on which no yoke has been laid. Okay, in the term there is para aduma. All right, let's continue. All right. Oh, one more thing. I wanted you to notice that there's a polarity here. All right. So in the polarity, if you look at it from the point of which we looked at in Leviticus 4, now to Leviticus 19, the polarities are still there. Inside, outside, male, female, blood, ashes. This is a ritual system, okay? Let's continue the systems of ritual, but let's continue. Leviticus 16:8, 1 goat for Yah, 1 goat for removal. Okay, this is Yom Kippur. All right, the day of covering. Let us continue. 1 goat purges the sanctuary. 1 carries transgression into the wilderness. Blood and bearing, cleansing and removal. The ritual is clearly dual. And as you can see here in Leviticus 16 from 7 through 10, this is a 2-goat ritual system. No lamb. The term is specifically male. Okay, let's continue. So, now return to the original question that I gave. When later texts say Lamb of God, is that Passover imagery? Is it sin offering imagery? Or is it a blend of ritual categories? Because Torah categories are precise. If sacrifice, exile, blood, bearing, male and female are structured pairings, then perhaps our reading should preserve that structure, not erase it. Not collapse it, preserve it. This does not require radical claims. It requires careful reading. So this is not a grammatical accident. The Torah legislates categories. Gender is specified. Hierarchy is specified. Ritual function is specified. The Hebrew does not hide this. Therefore, the sin offering of an individual sin is specifically feminine, not a male lamb. So, with that being said, this is not an attack on anyone's belief. This is about reading with precision. The requirement of nakiva is visible. The tier structure is visible. The polarities are visible. The question is simple. Do we allow the Torah to define its own symbolic system, or do we overwrite it? Read Leviticus 4:32 yourself. Look at the Hebrew and ask, did we miss anything? I hope you guys enjoyed this, and next episode will be, a continuation of this, but in a way more different fashion. So I hope you guys are prepared. I'm ready to drop bombs. All right, so I hope you guys are ready for what's next, because it's coming. And that's just a little taste of it if you catch it in the next video. Hope y'all stay safe. Peace and shalom.